What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And as promised in my last video, which if you happen to have missed, is linked down below in the description box. Today, we're going there. We're talking about how to get out of a funk. As mentioned in my 2019 recap video, which again, if you happen to have missed, will be linked down below in the description box. While 2019 was not terrible, i.e. no one died, I did not lose my job or get sick, 2019 also was not the best. I was in a very negative state of mind for longer than I cared for and was having real trouble snapping out of it. And let me be clear, when I say negative state of mind, I do not mean suicidal. No. I just mean I was wishing my circumstances were different, and because they were not, and I had no control over it for the immediate future, it was incredibly frustrating and annoying. And that energy bled into nearly everything. Simple tasks such as going to the grocery store was a real struggle. I'd get done with work and not want to deal with humans for the rest of the day. And I found it interesting and aggravating at the same time that because I was in this negative headspace, I tended to keep to myself a lot and not be as jolly as I usually am. And some people interpreted that as me being upset with them. Yeah, because the world revolves around you. Never mind what I'm going through. Now, before I go any further, I want to provide some background info for context. My first few years here in the US, the term depression or the saying being stuck in a rut or in a funk were brand new to me. They were American-made diseases or conditions, I thought. Because in Cameroon and Africa as a whole, if I may be so bold to generalize, mental disability equaled mental illness. In other words, based on what I'd been exposed to in Cameroon, if a person wasn't roaming the streets in tattered clothes or even naked, carrying a rock on your head, talking to his or herself, then that person wasn't really sick in the head or crazy or mad. And in my 13-year-old mind, I couldn't understand what people would be depressed about in America of all places. As Will Smith mentioned in the movie Concussion,
when I was a boy, heaven was here and America was here.
There were no poor people in America, no homeless people, and certainly no people suffering from depression or being in a funk. Of course, now I know this couldn't be further from the truth and reality, and no one is immune to it. And that's where I come in to offer suggestions, which I myself practice, on how to get out of a funk. And this is also where I insert my disclaimer. I am not a licensed therapist. If you think you may be suffering from depression, please stop this video and seek professional help. But if you are looking to get out of this extended period of being out of it, here are a few suggestions other than the ones you've heard before, like waking up early or drinking water or making your bed. Like, duh. I was doing all these things out of habit and it still wasn't helping. So up first, try journaling. You may not like writing, despise it even, but this isn't for anyone but yourself. No one is going to read it. It's just for you to do a brain dump. Write down how you're feeling, which will then open you up to why you might be feeling this way and then how to resolve it. The resolving it part may not come right away, but it is important to be self-aware. You need to know where you're coming from in order to know where you're going. Otherwise, you're floating around aimlessly, and that will never be a good feeling, at least not to me. I used to journal in high school in one of my spare notebooks, but it was usually about some guy that I had a crush on, which my brother would read behind my back, and now I'm off topic. But now I make it a point to journal every single day as part of my morning ritual, not bullet journaling. Ain't nobody got time for all of that. I briefly write down how my day went the previous day, thank God or the universe for what I currently have, and set my intentions for the day, i.e. the top 3 things I need to get done before the day ends. Comment down below and like this video if you would like to see a morning routine from me. I know those are all the rage here on YouTube, and I've never been the one to hop on trends unless I feel strongly about it. But if you would like to see what a typical morning looks like for me, I certainly can film that for you. So back to my point about journaling. Regular check-ins with yourself can help you assess what you're doing well and what you're not doing so well, and then pivot. For instance, you could write in your journal,
I hate my job,
or
I can't stand my job.
Okay, so why can't you stand your job? Or why do you hate it so much? Maybe the job isn't challenging enough for you, or maybe the pay isn't enough for what is expected of you, or maybe it doesn't align with your core values, or whatever. And then now maybe you can write down a solution for that problem. Now, my second suggestion to getting out of a funk is, and you've heard this one before, sleep. People treat sleep like it's a luxury these days and then wonder why they can't function properly. We all know we need to eat. We get excited for lunchtime at work. We know we need shelter and clean clothes, and we know we need to shower, but somehow we forget about sleep. Look, I can drink all the coffee, which I'm actually doing right now, take all the vitamins, but if I don't have a good night's rest, then it's all useless. It's like putting on moisturizer on dirty, exfoliated skin. I mean, that's a surefire way to clog your pores. I know this is gonna sound cliche, but just like clear skin is the foundation for flawless makeup, a good night's rest is the foundation for great health. Now, I don't know about you, but if I've only had 3 hours of sleep, I'm more than likely to reach for something that will give me energy. And that something is usually loaded with calories, and it will give me energy, but how long is that gonna last for? It will wear off sooner rather than later, and I'll be right back to square one. So make getting a good night's rest a priority, like you would eating, taking a shower, or laundry. The third and final suggestion to getting out of a funk is not giving people power over you. Now, what does that mean? Not letting the petty things people do get to you. Now, that's easier said than done, especially if you're hypersensitive. Think of each petty thing a person does to you as a mosquito bite. If it's not taken care of, before you know it, you're covered, and then you have malaria. Now, in my case, I let my neighbor's constant disturbance get the best of me last year. Not exactly a petty thing, but I did let it consume me, complaining to my mom, my brother, my friend, anybody who would listen to me. It was so bad I did not even want to go home after work until a certain time just to escape. And then one day, out of the blue, I decided not to keep letting these people have that kind of power over me. They simply were not going to run me out of my own apartment that I paid good money for. A short while after I made that decision to ignore them, they moved out. Good riddance. Now they can be somebody else's burden. Lesson learned: where attention goes, energy flows. And with that, this week's video has come to an end. Be sure to hit that notification bell, like, share, and comment. And I'll see you next week. Bye!